Hey guys, welcome back to Nerdy Crew. So today we'll be doing a program on the Armstrong number. Let's start by reading the problem statement. So first we are provided with the integer num and our task is to find out whether this number is Armstrong or not. So the question arises, what is an Armstrong number? So let's read this statement. So a k-digit number num is an Armstrong number if and only if the kth power of each digit sums to num. So let's start by simplifying it and then we'll be coding it. So now let's understand the Armstrong number with the help of an example. For example, I have a number 153. Here you can see that the total number of digits is 3. So 1, which is the first digit here, raised to the power 3, adding it to the next digit raised to the power 3 and the next digit raised to the power 3, it is equal to 153, right? So I can see that the original number and the sum is equal. Let's take some other example and see if it holds true for that. Now I have a number 15. Here the total number of digits is 2. So now again 1 raised to the power 2 and I'll add it to the next digit, which is 5 raised to the power 2. This is equal to 1 and 25. So this is equal to 26 and not 15. Therefore it's not an Armstrong number, right? So I hope you have understood what an Armstrong number is. Here I have listed a few steps, and using these steps you will be able to write the algorithm pretty easily. So the first step here is that you have to count the number of digits. I hope that by now you know how to count the number of digits. If not, you can check out the video linked in the I tab. Okay. So the second step is that you have to extract the last digit. We extract the last digit by n modulo 10. In this case, you can see if I start with the number as 153, so I'll extract the last digit, which is going to be 3. The third step is that you have to calculate the sum of each digit raised to the power of the count of digits, which clearly means that if I have a sum variable, let's see, if I have a sum variable which is initialized to 0, I have extracted the last digit, which was 3, raised it to the power 3, which is equal to 27. So I'll add this 27 to the sum variable. So in the first iteration, you will get the number as 27. So now the fourth step is that you have to update the value of the number. So if your n was 153, in the second step, it will be equal to 15. So your last digit is going to be 5 in this case. Again raised to the power 3, which is equal to 125. So then you will be adding this 125 to 27, okay, which will be equal to 152. So again this loop will run and then you'll update the number again. So it will be 1. So 1 raised to the power 3 is equal to 1. So then you'll be adding 152 plus 1, which is equal to 153. Alright. And after the loop is over, you are simply going to compare the original number and the sum. So original number is this and the sum is this. So you have to compare it. So let's start by coding it. Okay, since you already know how we can count the number of digits in a number, we are going to use some alternative of that right now. So the alternative is that we'll use a string dot value of method. So this method basically converts this number into a string. And after this is converted into a string, we are going to use a length method. Okay, so this length method is going to give you the length of the string. So basically it will be easier for us to retrieve the number of digits. So we can store it in some count variable. Now the next thing is that let's initialize the sum variable to 0. Now after this is done, since we are not going to alter this original number, because in the end we have to do some comparison. Let's call it int new number. So int new number is equal to this num. Alright, so after this is done, we can simply start a while loop and I can say that while new number is greater than 0, run a loop and we'll start by extracting the last digit. So int last digit is equal to new number modulo 10. So after extracting the last digit, next thing we are going to do is taking that last digit, raising it to the power of count and then adding it to the value of sum. So for that we have a math.pow method which takes two parameters. So it will take the last digit, and taking the last digit as the first parameter, and the second parameter will be count. So after doing this, it will simply return us the value. So now I have to add it to the value of sum. So I can say that sum plus equals to this. Okay. Now after this is done, let's update the value of this new number. So new number divided equals 10, and we update it, right? After this updation and this loop is over, the last thing is that we have to compare it. And the comparison has to be between this number and this sum. So I can say that return num equals sum. So it will return true because the return type is boolean. So let's run it. Okay, it's correct. Okay, so I hope that you have understood this lecture. If you like the lecture, please make sure that you subscribe the channel and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching.